Welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. I will record it for marking purposes, and I will give you instructions for each of the three parts. What is your full name?
My full name is Elang Darmawan, but you can call me Elang.
Okay, Elang. May I see your identification?
Yes, please. This is the passport that I used to register for this exam.
There's your passport back. Thank you. For part one, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. What do you do in the evenings?
From 6 p.m. onward, I'd like to eat supper, hang out with my friend, or just go for a stroll, as I did last evening.
Who do you spend your evenings with?
I usually spend my evening with my girlfriend. We cook for dinners, we watch movies together, or we also walk a lot. Yesterday, we walked to the park near my home.
Let's talk about losing and finding. How often do you lose something?
I rarely lose my personal item because I'm really careful with them. So I would say once or twice in a year. The last thing I remember losing is my towel about a year ago on the beach.
Who can help you find lost items?
Well, I suppose it depends on what and where. For example, if I lost my keys, then I will ask my girlfriend to find them. But if I were to lose my phone, I will use the Find My Phone applications from the website to find it, sorry.
Did you lose anything important before?
Yeah, when I was on a trip to Malaysia, I lost my passport. And I was so worried that it may, cause a problem for me getting back to Indonesia. But luckily, a gentleman found it and returned it back to my hotel.
How do you feel when you lose your belongings?
I feel quite anxious and upset to myself because I really work hard for what I got. I really hate to lose my possessions. Although I believe that, keeping a cool head will give me a better chance to find them instead of being stressed.
Have you found anything valuable before?
Yeah, I have. One day when I was at the beach, I was walking on the sand and then something stuck on my flip-flop. I was actually shocked because it was a gold necklace. Yeah, I think it was broken or fallen off by the owner for some reasons. So yeah, I'm actually happy and I took it and it's still sitting back on my drawer.
If you lose your phone, what can you do?
As I mentioned before that I own an Android phone. It has this Find My Phone features that I can use and track it via Google Maps. Also, I will retrace my step and think where most likely I may have lost it.
It's the end of part one. Now we will continue with part two. Elang does a very good job of answering questions in part one. His fluency score is easily a band-aid. So is his pronunciation. He uses lots of different words and quite the range of grammar. However, the reason some examiners might score Elang a band 7, as where others might score him higher, like 7.5 or even an 8, is because of his grammatical accuracy. It's very difficult to judge how much grammatical accuracy affects the overall score because it impacts coherence. Some examiners are more strict, some a little bit less. It's extremely tricky to evaluate the same. In question 1, the examiner asks how often Elang loses his personal belongings. In this answer, he says that he rarely loses his personal item because they. Clearly, he's missing the plural S. I rarely lose my personal items because they are precious to me. And then he gives the example of losing his towel in a beach. Here the correct preposition would be at a beach. So these kinds of mistakes affect the ability for the listener to clearly understand what the communicator is saying. It is important to improve grammatical accuracy, especially once you have lots of vocabulary and you're fluent. The best way to do this is to continue learning grammar from grammar books and by getting feedback on your speaking. Now, let's continue to part 2. For part 2, here's a card with some questions, some note paper, and a pencil. You will have 1 minute to look at the questions on the card, think about your answers, and then you will have 2 minutes to speak. You can take notes in the 1 minute. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. Go ahead, turn over the card. We can score your IELTS Speaking Section Part 2 for free. Simply send us an MP3 recording to this email address and we will send you back a band score estimate. This will help you know where you stand and what you need to do to improve. If you like to practice speaking, make sure to click on the Speaking Interview Practice yellow button in your My Student account at aehelp.com. Now, let's continue with the interview and lesson. Along your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay, so one of the most impactful event that I had no influence over with is coronavirus outbreak this past spring. Although Indonesia does not have major lockdown like many other countries, but still it has huge impact and effect to many people in making decisions. For example, meeting family and friends, and also social distancing as much as possible. I think that this happens since March. Of course, I'm still seeing them, but not as much as before March. But the main way that affect me is traveling, school, and shopping. Because every weekend I usually go out with my friend to a restaurant or hiking, but I haven't doing it since COVID-19. And also when it comes to school, everything I do it from home. Otherwise I will be at school doing some schoolwork, group activity.
In part 2, Elong continues to do a very good job. He answers all of the questions on the cue card with fairly good detail and structure. However, he does make similar grammatical mistakes as in part 1. Furthermore, the type of communication he chooses is sometimes confusing. What do I mean? To see the rest of this video and for more strategies to consistently get higher scores and not be surprised by lower scores, visit and join our premium IELTS package at aehelp.com. With practice exams, interactive courses, an app for your phone, and a one-time payment for lifetime access, you're sure to improve. Use this code for a 10% discount. Click the link in the video description. Begin learning for success today. Subscribe to our channel. Click over here. Watch another video. Click right up here. And click our IELTS Hero to join our premium package and get access to all of our videos, practice exams, and a fully interactive course.